Yeah.
So you're in Vegas already. You move right into the house after you
Yeah.
win.
So you win the fight.
So you came bags packed whether you're winning or losing.
Yeah, that's it. You're packing your bags for
3 months.
13 weeks. Yeah.
Shit.
Yep. It's a sad ride home if you don't win. So
I can imagine. Lucky you didn't have to have that.
yeah. You kind of you're excited that you won, but at the same time you're like, what
Nervous,
are the next
anxious.
what is in store for the next 13 weeks? You're unsure. This was the first season where they did it live. So you fought so they'd film you the whole week and they turned that into an episode. So they knew who was going to fight. They had these two guys who were going to fight. They kind of
basically the coaches picked the fights, right?
Yeah. Yep. So those two, the two fighters were kind of like featured that week. So the week was about them. Sometimes something happened in the house where they put it on the episode, but so they'd film for a week. They'd break down the film. They'd create an episode, and
the fight would be live at the end of the week.
Yeah, so
that's a crazy format.
Yeah,
it's too bad I can't work out. And fighting, I think that's just too much. But that's fucking awesome. What was it like being in the house with the guys?
It was, for me, it was cool. I enjoyed, it was kind of just if
like, what was the structure there like? I know we watched the show, but it's hard to tell what it's really like. Like a day that you wake up, there was an average day like. You're training every single day?
So you train twice a day.
Twice a day.
You'd get, the van would take you to, it was maybe 15-minute ride there. You train. I think you had 2 hours at the gym and then a 15-minute ride home. And you did that twice a day. You had a day off. But for me, it was, I learned so much over that 13 weeks. I was with, like I said, Uriah Faber. And he would bring in guys from Sacramento, his team, which were, the best 135, 145 pounders.
At that time, was it Dillashaw was still there?
Dillashaw, he was.
Was Garbrandt there yet?
No, I think he was there, but he wouldn't. He was.
He wasn't a name yet, I don't think, at that time.
No, but he wouldn't. If he was on the team, he didn't make it out to Vegas. So a bunch of guys came out to Vegas and trained. Lance Palmer. Chad Mendez.
Oh, Lance Palmer, that's Dre's enemy.
Yeah. We trained. I trained with those guys. It was probably Danny Castillo, who had a great career in the UFC. Yeah. Joe Benavidez.
A bunch of killers.
Yeah.
So even more than the people that you're there with and the coaches, you
and
had extra loaded guns coming there.
I had awesome. 8 top prospects in the world, guys from Brazil, England.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So, as far as that goes, I was like, there's nothing better than this.
Yeah.
I want to be a UFC champion. This is how you do it.
What was the house like the rest of the day though? You have 4 or 5 hours of training between travel time and getting there. What are you guys doing the rest of this? Is pre-Instagram too, right?
Yeah. Well, so we had no TV, no radio, no phone. We couldn't social media. We couldn't call home. We were like locked out.
The fuck do you do all day?
No books. You couldn't. The only book we could have is the Bible. It was like I read the first couple pages of the Bible one day. I was so bored. I was like,
that's boredom.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're bored.
But they don't want you to get
in trouble, probably.
No, they want you to get in trouble. If you're watching TV all day, you're probably not.
Did they feed you alcohol?
So if you wanted food, you'd have to write a list of the food you wanted, and they'd go at night, and then in the morning you'd wake up and whatever food you wanted would be there for you. But if you wanted, it was cool. And really, they unless you wanted lobster or something, you
got whatever you wanted.
You could eat pretty good. You definitely eat clean. But then if you wanted,
do you think the UFC would do that for people now?
Well, in Vegas they do. In Vegas,
that fight center.
Yeah.
And Ngannou lives there. It looks like.
Yeah. Yep. There's some guys that just move out there. I mean, Aljamain Sterling bought a house in Vegas
just to be able to go there and train.
That among other reasons, definitely the tax benefits.
Yeah, no state income tax.
No state income tax is great.
I'm trying to get the fuck to there or Florida for that reason.
Yeah, the cost of living is
What do you get a place like Henderson for cheap and shit like that?
Yeah, it's not.
Especially then, Henderson, you got a spot for nothing.
Yeah.
2010, 12.
He's pretty close. It's not Henderson. I forget where he is, but he's not too far from the.
You know my buddy Jason Griggs, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Griggs is my fucking boy. Yeah. Shout out Griggs.
Shout out Griggs.
He does real estate out there.
He's the one that sold Aljo. He got Aljo the house.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome. Shout out Griggs. You need a house in Vegas. Look up Jason Griggs.
Absolutely.
But He was telling me to get on Henderson real estate fucking 8, 10 years ago. My place has like tripled since then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have listened to him, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, so, well, they could also request alcohol on this list. How, by the way, how do you like the Kratom?
It's good. It's
I
got an
have
interesting
Al.
taste.
Yeah, I mean, I make my own concoction, so it tastes. That's actually the best tasting Kratom you'll ever have.
Really good.
Because normally Kratom tea does not taste good.
Really.
Yeah, my buddy's over at Kava Sutra in the city. I'm putting Al for his first time onto your Kratom. Looks like he enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good.
If anyone doesn't know what Kratom tea is, you should try it. It's something different. I don't even drink alcohol anymore. Now we're talking about it because of this stuff. Like I just rather drink this. There's no hangover. Doesn't fuck. It doesn't. I'm still in control. I can still drive after.
Yeah, I feel good right now.
Yeah, it makes you like a little bit up. Makes you feel good. You know.
Definitely.
I like it.
No, it's good.
But yeah, so back to alcohol. So how does that go
So
down? In the house?
alcohol, if you want alcohol, the food was the next day. If you want alcohol, you pick up the phone and you call, and they bring it to you immediately.
Damn, they want you to get
They
drunk.
want you to get drunk. They want you to start a fight. To start, they'd be like, you can't fight, you can't wreck things, you can't break anything.
But here's a fucking case of beers.
But and then if it happens, they're kind of like, whatever. But there was a couple days where, so I fought. I was the fourth fight, so it was the fourth week, and I knew that I fought Miles Jury, and I won that fight, and I knew that so I fought to get on, then I fought Miles Jury the fourth week, and I knew that I wasn't gonna have to fight again
for another month, right?
For another month. So I just got one day. I woke up and it was our day off, and I didn't even tell anybody. I just started drinking, right? And then a couple guys there, they could tell they're like, what do you drink? What have you been drinking all day? I was
like a Tuesday afternoon or something.
Yeah, it was our day off. I forget what our day off was, whatever it was. And then a bunch of the other guys that had fought already started drinking with me. And we ended up wrecking the place. We
getting shit-faced.
We were throwing knives in the cabinets, and I was jumping in the pool. You have microphones, and they were like, "Don't jump in the pool with the microphone." I was jumping in the pool. Like
the new lavalier mic, $500.
Yeah, so we got pretty rowdy, and the producer came and was just screaming at us, and we were all bombed. We were laughing in their face.
And what the hell are they gonna do to a room full of fighters anyway?
Yeah, well, I ended up getting fined. Like every fine was $200. It was like I got fined 2 or 3 times. So I still, whenever I see him, I go, I want my money back.
Give me $600 back, bro.
Give me that fine back. You know,
it's made for good TV.
Yeah. And they ended up not even putting that stuff on. That was like the best. That would have been the best TV.
That's fucking funny.
But they didn't want to put it on when the producer came and yelled at us and whatever. But and they only had so much time, I guess, to play to edit, and they wanted the show to go in a certain direction. But I think there was some things that if they put on would have been so funny, you know.
They say half the footage gets left on the cutting room floor, the editing room. But
yeah.
I haven't. It's been fucking. I haven't watched that show in I don't even know how many years. Did you go home as you lose, right?
No, that season they kept you.
The whole season, no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they kept you as a training partner, because the finale was.
So the guys stay enthused. Like if I lost like first week, I find it hard to think that I would stay there for 12 weeks and be like a enthusiastic partner and training. You know.
So the finale was the last week. So it was 13 weeks, and the finale was the last. So it was like the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals were 3 consecutive weeks. So I fought three weeks in a row. Yeah, nuts.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's like UFC 1 type shit.
It really
used to do 3 fights in a night.
That's how when they asked me about it, they were like, "How you feel going into this finale after fighting 2 times in the last 2 weeks?" And I was like, they did it in UFC 1. They did it in 1 day, so I could do it.
It can be done.
Yeah.
How did your quarter and semifinal fights go? Were they rough fights?
My semifinal, my semifinal.
Quarterfinal
fight.
Was easier.
Quarterfinal, I won. I knocked out Andy Ogle. Pretty. I had a little bumps. I got out pretty unscathed. And then the semifinals, I fought Vince Pichel, and it was 2 rounds. Because you can only fight so many rounds in a week or whatever it is.
Like by law?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
keep it right under.
So it was 2 rounds, and then if you I forget what it was. Maybe but it could have gone to a third, I think, maybe.
I think if it's 1-1, they maybe do
They
a
make
third.
it
I
go
think
to
that
a
was what I think
third.
that's what it was.
Yeah, but I ended up winning both rounds, but I jacked my knee up.
In the semifinal.
Yeah,
This is the first knee injury.
yeah. So I let I and a bunch of other. I was really banged up. It was a
Yeah.
long 13 weeks. You know.
I think no fighter goes into a fight 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, after that season, there's nothing. Yeah, everybody went in. But going up so when they didn't send people home, they kept everyone on the show. The finale, even the guys that lost, they matched up. So they were training the whole time.
Okay, so you still got to fight.
They were gonna know
That's how
that
you keep
they,
ahead in the game. Okay,
yeah,
I see.
Yep. So
Did you know? And you fucked your knee up bad that day.
yeah, it was
and you had
pretty
only
bad.
a week till the next fight.
Yeah.
So what do you do for that week? Did they send you to the doctor? How did they
I
handle
didn't
that?
even tell anybody. Like me and my
Shit.
trainer, me Ray Longo, and all the coaches. We kind of just kept it to ourselves. I remember being.
You don't want them to pull you from the final.
Exactly. I kind of thought it was better to fight, and I thought I was going to win. Still, I really felt confident that going into it. I knew he had injuries too. His father actually passed away while he was on the show. Pretty wild.
Fucking
yeah. He went home for the weekend to go to the funeral, go to the whole process with that, and then he came back and ended up like the underdog. It really is a crazy story for him. He was probably the underdog the whole time, every fight he was in, and
I'm sure he had an extra motivation with that. I mean,
to
that's
come through and win with that. Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
fuck.
Incredible. But I knew he had a bunch of, my knee was banged up, but I knew there was a bunch of things. He fought also 2 weeks before that. So I felt confident going into it, but it didn't go my way.
Yeah, it happens, man.
And yeah, but
Can't win them all.
you can't win them all.
It's fucking yeah.
But
But obviously you impressed enough people that you got into the UFC anyway.
yeah.
And you didn't have to fight again before you went to the UFC. You had the contract after that, correct?
Yeah. Yep.